Hi, everyone. Welcome for another episode. And as you know, this is a very, very special series that I'm doing with the Akanksha Foundation. So today I'm in conversation with Jayashree Oberoi. Jayashree is Senior Director of Schools Pune for the Akanksha Foundation. And she has a very interesting journey that has led her up to Akanksha. And so I'm really, really curious and excited to hear all about that. And also, of course, listen to and hear all her experiences in and within Akanksha. So thank you so much for joining me today, Jayashree.
Thank you so much, Payal. This is my privilege to be on this platform and share my journey with everyone. So to start with myself, I come from a humble background. Both my parents have been farm workers. And right around age of 9, I moved to live with my landlady in Mumbai, and I continued my education there. And my parents always believed that education is something that will change our lives. And they were ready to send me off and change everything for themselves to make sure that I get the education I need. And I carried that belief in myself, and I did experience that change in my life as well as my family. And I am here because of hard work of a lot of people, their belief in me and my potential, and the opportunity to get right kind of education at the right time. So owing to that, there has also been a lot of talk about values and how the opportunities we have can be extended to others when there is an opportunity for us to do something. And that led me to choose my career first in environment conservation, because there was also a feel that we should do something for the environment.
I saw on your CV that you worked with the with WWF, the World Wildlife Fund. Yeah, wow, that's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere the connection with the farming community and coming from a place which was very, very close to nature, and also having these values of we should do something for our environment. So I started working with a World Wildlife Fund, started a little bit of research in the beginning, but then realized education is something that really draws my interest. And I continue to work in the field of environment conservation for almost 15, 17 years post that, and primarily worked with teachers in India and later on in the US, worked on developing curriculum and how could environment conservation messages can be brought into the classroom. So that was something that kept me excited and going. And around that time, I also felt that I'm working with the teachers for so many years, but I need to also experience what teaching is like and what it is really for students that connects and excites them, and how I could really make it meaningful. So I did teach middle school science as well. And around 2011,
this was in India. This was
in the US.
Oh, in the US. Okay.
In the US. So I worked in India with World Wildlife Fund, and then we moved to US, and I worked with the New England Aquarium and also Stoner Middle School teaching science. So when we decided to move back home here, I was very clear that I'm looking for a combination of education and environment and work with the community. And it could be, one of these which had to have, the feeling of doing something for, fulfilling my own desire to be connected with the work and meaningful work. So it was more from that space. And I was very fortunate to come across Akanksha at that time and an opportunity to be the school leader. And I joined Akanksha in 2011. So that's how my journey has been, working with teachers and students all through.
So what is it that keeps you going with Akanksha? Because 2011 to now is many, many years. So what, yeah, that's one. And two, what exactly is your involvement with within the school setup of Akanksha?
Sure. So I'll start with your second question first. So I joined as a school leader. It was a small school and a growing school. So seeing the school grow, new batches of the students come. We also moved to new building, and our team grew, almost 3 times from the time we started. So that was my involvement for almost 7 years in the first few years, and seeing the learning of the adults and children has been really, really exciting for me. And we kept trying new things, and the children kept teaching us new things. You see along with their height, and you see the children grow both in terms of their skills and excitement and learning. So that is something that kept me going and kept me excited for 7 years. In 2018, we had this position open, which would allow me to work with all the Pune schools that are under Akanksha, and which meant taking the student vision, the learning principles, social emotional learning, all of the initiatives that we're doing, not only to one school, but then to all the 11 schools in the city. It also meant working with the school leaders and extremely inspiring team of educators and role models in many ways. So that was also very exciting that I could work with them, design programs, and extend that impact to a larger number. So I joined as a senior director in 2018. So last 3 years, that has been my role.
Okay.
What has kept me going is, as Akanksha, I think we are an organization that values learning for children as well as for adults. And the culture of learning keeps us motivated, keeps us in the space of innovation. We are constantly looking for what is the need of our students in the 21st century, what skills our students need, and what could we do more than what we're doing now. And that goes for adults as well as for children. So that constant striving for excellence, looking for what is meaningful, and working towards that excellence is one of the big things that has kept me connected with the work, even in 10 years, even for so many years. The other thing is, I think, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. The other thing is?
Yeah, I think as an organization, we are very people-centered organization, and developing individuals and keeping the needs of the people in the center, whether it is adults or students, has been, one of the experiences or the feelings that we care for everybody, and at the same time, we make sure everybody learns. So that's a wonderful feeling to be part of the team that has like-minded approach and that works continuously by keeping the students and adults in the center.
Yeah, and it's basically empowering both the adults and the students. And like I mentioned to you before we started this conversation recording, I've spoken with a number of students, and I think the common message that I have heard from each and every one of these students is that every school, and they come from different schools, and every school has given them an opportunity not just to have academic excellence, but to also be able to develop themselves as individuals, to give them a sense of confidence. So, from debate to theater to sports to poetry to, it seems like it's an approach which is very, what's the word? It's not sort of unidimensional, and which I think is, to me, stands out because I personally believe that education is not just what you read and study in the books. It's also this whole enhanced experience. And so, yeah, so I can relate to when you say that this connect with Akanksha is there because of all the reasons that you've mentioned. So what, I mean, are there any interesting anecdotes that you would like to share, whether it's with some students that you may have had experiences with, or in, you know, introducing new curriculum, or whatever it is, any anecdotes that would be interesting and would also then highlight a bit more about Akanksha?
Sure, and there would be many, but just in the interest of time, I would share a couple with you. First one is belief in children and the possibility that you can bring about the change if you have the right, mentoring, support, and belief in the potential of the children. When I joined in 2011, I had a little, a young boy in first grade and who had a lot of behavior challenges. There were multiple reasons for it, but it was difficult for him to make friends and stay focused in the classrooms. And it was difficult for him to stay connected with the learning that was happening. In the years following that, the work I saw by the teacher, the persistence, the belief, the empathetic approach, and at the same time, making sure that he continues to learn and we keep finding what exactly interests him so that we make it personalized for him, so that we see what his interest areas and build that strength in him so that he is also able to build the confidence in himself and see that he does have a lot of good skills and he's able to be successful like other children. So that work in 10 years that I've seen done by different team members and the constant belief in him is something that has stayed with me in this 10 years, and I see him grow every day.
And makes me feel, where is he at now? Has he graduated?
So he would have given his 10th standard board exam this year. But because of the change in the board exams this year, they did not appear for it. But he was working hard towards that. And he was staying focused in his work. He's extremely interested in art and very good in maths. And today he is, he's happy talking to his friends. He's happy connecting with his parents and teachers as well. And he's proud of some of the innovative ideas. He really loves to build some tools, and he's happy sharing that as well. Wow. So seeing that change in him is very, very. It's a feeling that you have where you see that belief is come in is seen in reality, and you see that in front of you. So wow. That's been something amazing. The other one was it's a week long that I spent with Dhanashree and Tahura in the US, and this was 2 years ago when we three of us traveled for one of the Akanksha functions, the Akanksha Gala, and these were sixth graders, both of them, very young girls, and seeing them learn so much within that week. Adapt to new situations, be confident, and talk to everyone so politely, so respectfully, and yet with confidence was an amazing experience for me. I was their school leader, and I had seen them as different students, in school. And when I saw them change literally in a week's time while they were there with those experiences was just gave me a feeling that experiences like this can bring about so much change, and it can be so powerful for young children like Dhanashree and Tahura. So that was another moment that just gave me the confidence that right opportunities and experiences like this can be so meaningful and can be so powerful for children. So continue to do that in our capacity, as long as we can, and to as many students as we can.
Yeah, Absolutely. And I think all the students that this is just a handful of students that I've spoken with, but I'm sure if I had to, speak with 50 more students, I would be equally inspired in a different way by each and every one of them. Because, I think that the environment, normally you say, okay, the values that you get from home are so important. But here I feel that, yes, but a lot of these children come from humble backgrounds. And it's interesting how, the kind of, so obviously the parents are all encouraging and they want their kids to have a different life, which is what I've gathered from all these girls that I've talked to, that their parents have encouraged them to study and make something of themselves. But I just feel that the value, the complete, what's the word? I'm kind of struggling for a word here, where it's like a wholesome approach, and which is a different kind of value system, which these kids are able to okay, I'm struggling here, but what I'm trying to say is that
that's okay.
They are the schools are, and your team encourages these kids to
Absolutely.
see things outside of a value system which is outside what the parents have taught them. And more importantly, it's to get them to be able to integrate into society, become independent, have a showcase of their own. I think these are some of the things which I feel that is filtering through to them because of the kind of education that they're getting out of the Akanksha system. So that's the way I'm seeing it now. And listening to
Absolutely.
you kind of just reinforces that. So
there are multiple stories. I mean, some of these stories, and there are so many, even with children with special needs, and how the schools are inclusive in many ways where possible. It's not about resources that we are able to provide all the time, just with the constraints we work under, but it's the approach, and it's the way the students are treated in the classroom. It's the way teachers work with them and not give up. And also saying that they are equal and they need to get all opportunities like all the other students. So I think that I had a student in, when he came in, he had multiple special needs, special needs components, and the grandfather brought the child holding him in his arms. And so I asked him, like, why are you holding him in your arms? And he said, well, we are not letting him do many of the things because we feel that he will not be able to. So I said, okay, if you're okay, let's try and see how he does, because at some point he needs to be independent, and here he will not be, while he will be taken care, he will not be treated any different. He would get all the opportunities that the rest of the students get. And in the next 4 to 5 years, I was able to see the child sit in the class like all the other students and try and engage in whatever learning he was able to. And there was a moment when I was sitting and observing a class, and the teacher asked, is there a volunteer who can help me distribute some material? And he raised his hand and he said, I will. Like, that was his gesture. He had speech issues, so he couldn't really say it, but he raised his hand and he said that he would like to. And that brought tears in my eyes, that we have not only made him independent for himself, but he is at a place where he wants to and he is able to contribute in every little way he is possible. So these are the things that really keep you inspired, with the work that we do.
I can imagine. I can imagine. And you're in it, so I mean, that's quite incredible. I can completely understand why you continue to be a part of, this whole community. I can completely understand that. So just moving away a little bit, this pandemic has sort of taken everyone by surprise, and then it's been over a year now that schools in India, I understand, it's virtual learning. So how do you think has it made a difference? Has it impacted the development of the students? How has Akanksha adapted to this change? And is it something that is here to stay, or you think that things will go back to like what they were a year and a half ago?
Mm-hmm. So yes, definitely it has affected every individual, and the pandemic has affected our children likewise. And it is whether it is their health, their nutrition, learning, just the space they have for any development, any work they need to do. They have small houses and siblings and multiple family members in the same space. Many of our parents lost their jobs, so we had project where we would distribute ration kits and medical supplies for the parents. Also, there are initiatives to get back the parents to employment and so on. So all of that has had an impact on the students. It has had an impact on their health and mental well-being. So the first thing was to keep the well-being of all adults and students at the center, and making sure that safety and well-being are at the core, and we have the initiatives to make sure we're connecting with every student, initially at a higher frequency, almost once in a week in some of the critical areas and once in 2 weeks in the other communities. And that gave us the information which student, which family needs what kind of support, and extend that support through multiple initiatives, whether it is medical help or ration kits, or even any trauma or any safety related issues or domestic violence, because there's a lot of stress. So all of that was on a higher, higher scale than what it has been in the past. So we took that as one of the important initiatives and continued with that work. Learning has definitely been, taken a big backseat because initially our students didn't have devices. The parents have a small, phone. It becomes difficult, to connect on that small device. Internet connectivity is an issue. So another initiative we had to put together was providing devices at least to the oldest grade students, where they could work independently and they could engage in learning. And the reason oldest, because it's also safety, cyber safety, and students being able to make use of that. So slowly training everyone, but initially to make sure that we are able to provide that support to them. So that was another factor. Now, the third one was, what is an expectation from the students for learning? I mean, expecting them to go through the entire curriculum and doing what is given every year is not possible. So making sure that there are most important essential skills, reduce the curriculum, bring it down to 2/3, and focus on the most essential components of the concepts was something that we decided to do. We also looked at assessments being more formative assessments rather than putting the pressure of one single assessment at the end of the term or unit, which did not make sense. But it was important that we look at learning on an ongoing basis. We made sure art, sports, some of the events at the school, all of that continues. And we also introduced socio-emotional ethical curriculum in all our schools through different practices. So which helps students to learn about self-awareness, give them the vocabulary to express their emotions, and also work on or take help of some of these strategies to manage their own emotions and themselves. So a combination of these different things that were introduced, but with an intention that well-being stays at the core. Learning continues no matter whatever the challenges are of the resources, time, availability, all of that. And to make sure that we stay connected with every child on a regular basis, and that connection is strengthened between the child and the student. So, all of it is here to stay. We always believed in the connections, and this mode of connection on a monthly basis, having documentation of the calls, making sure the red flags or any critical cases get immediately alerted and get the support. All of that system is here to stay. Well-being initiatives are here to stay, and all the social-emotional ethical learning is just not for the students, but for the entire organization. It is moving into a culture of the organization. And as far as the learning, blended learning is the way to go. Expecting students to be back in physical format, that's what we want. We want everybody to be back. But continuing learning in the traditional way is not, I think, possible. We need to think about how students could make best use of their time, learn with their own pace, make the learning personalized, and not limit them only to the textbooks and the world of material they have, but open the entire world which is available online for them to be able to learn. Which then would extend not only to music and art and sports and some of the things we're doing, but it could be different languages, it could be different skills, it could be connecting with other students across the globe. All of that will be possible when we move into blended learning. So there is going to be shift, and I'm confident it will be a good shift, for our students, for their learning and development as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be exciting. But what amazes me is that you were able to, think very quickly on your feet and actually introduce all of this. Must have been quite challenging for the educators as well as the Akanksha leadership team to put all of this together and make sure that it filters to the students and the teachers, because even the teachers would have had to learn a new way of communicating with their students. So
absolutely, technology was a big challenge for most people in the beginning.
I can imagine, but it's incredible how, in such a short span of time, you've been able to bring about this change. And like, I hear you when you say that henceforth, obviously students will go back to the classroom whenever, maybe in 2022, but it will be a blended way of education, which, so that's here to stay. So that's the change, yeah, which is very interesting. So anything else that, you're kind of, any other initiatives that you're currently working on, which are different from what is in progress at the moment with Akanksha Foundation?
So, so along with blended learning, the initiative socio-emotional learning for students, and working towards making our schools compassionate schools, bringing in kindness and building resilience in our students. That has been one of our major areas of work going forward as well. And it is to prepare them not only for now, but for future as well? And how do you have the combination of skills with the right kind of mindset to help themselves and to be able to be successful? So the entire socio-emotional domain and the work in that has also been, it's been part of Akanksha for many years, but having a structured curriculum and initiatives and making sure that it is integrated in the classrooms is something that I'm very, very excited about, and the teams are working on it. So that's another one. Also, there is a lot of work with parents and supporting and empowering parents, and in supporting parents may be looking for employment, building skills, building financial literacy, all of these, and at the same time making sure that they get opportunities to learn these new skills, build their own awareness about either it is vaccines or taking care of the children or even nutrition, all of these different aspects of the parent engagement work. So parent engagement, again, parents have been partners in Akanksha schools all these years, but working very consistently, working on some of these new needs that have emerged during pandemic and post-pandemic is one of the new initiatives as an organization that we've taken as one big pillar. And we're looking at what are the different centers of innovation we can bring in, go deeper in our work, and make sure that our teams are equipped, we know the direction in which we're going, and we also are able to see the impact over the period of time. Wow,
that's amazing. I'm sure, it's only a matter of time that you'll be able to get all of this going. It's been so wonderful talking to you, Jayashree. Thank you so much for, I'm yet again, I can say inspired. Every conversation that I've had with everyone at Akanksha has sort of inspired me, and I'm sure the listeners and the viewers will feel the same. And what are you hoping to, is there anything that you would like, any kind of a message that you would like sent out to all the people who will be listening in or watching the interviews on YouTube? Is there anything that you would like to say to sort of sum up?
I would say children will learn from an adult they feel very connected with. During these times, we continuing that connection with every child is very, very important, and supporting them in their safety and well-being. And once things become a little better, the students will learn. They have learned a lot during this pandemic, and we should not ignore that learning. Build on that learning for whatever they have missed on, but keep it rooted and keep it founded in the connections. So giving really high importance to connections is something I think we should continue.
Excellent. Thank you so much. On that note, I've really enjoyed talking to you. And I'm so happy to share your thoughts, your journey, and all the initiatives that you're working on. Wish you all the very best, and I hope to be able to see you in person one day.
Same here. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking and sharing our journey and the work here. It's always inspiring going back to our own experiences as well. So thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jayashree. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.